Alright, you tool addicted maniacs, today we're going to be doing an after action performance review on the Michael Pro spiral body combination wrenches, so let's get to it. If you're someone who hasn't seen wrenches like this, you definitely should check them out because they are a very useful, practical tool to have in many situations. They're also known in the trades as dolphin wrenches because there is other manufacturers out there with this style of wrench. Now, I've had these for quite a few years now, and I thought I had already put a video out on it, but clearly I have not. Now, one of these sets was originally mine. The other set was sent out to me from Michael Pro Tools, so a big shout out to them. Whenever I first got these, I looked them over, I felt of them, I tested them out a little bit, and I was like, these are not going to be very practical tools to use in the field on a daily basis. That's simply because the design of them is not a normal combination wrench design. But there is many trades out here who might utilize these types of wrenches on a daily basis. It's kind of one of those things. It's the eye of the beholder. It depends on who has the tools, what type of thing you're doing with them. But I will tell you, they have surprisingly held up over time in a variety of situations that I didn't think that they would perform that well in, and I was wrong. They held a lot more torque than what I thought they would hold. But the usefulness of these tools are amazing because of the features that they have. If you're interested in checking out these wrenches for yourself, I will post some non-affiliate links in the description box below that'll take you directly to the Michael Pro Tools website. You see here, these are 8-piece combination wrench sets. This is the metric version right here. Order yourself a set. You'll see that they come inside of a storage rack like this right here. Size range in metric is going to be 8 through 19, skipping the 9, 15, and 18. If you want to get these in the standard variety, this is the set you'll be looking at there, and it gives you 3/8 of an inch all the way up to 3/4 of an inch with no skips in between. Typically, whenever you get combination wrench sets, some of them might skip sizes, and you'll be able to compensate for that size with the other tool. And in this situation, you don't really get that because there's no standard size that's going to compensate for a 15mm. Now, there's a lot of people out here who works on certain things, and a 15 might be something that you encounter on a daily basis. That may or may not be a deal breaker for you. Either way, altogether, between the two sets, it's right around a $100 investment. You're going to get 16 different sizes in these sets. They have a patented spiral grip body design. The typical combination wrench is not going to have this kind of design. It's going to be a flat body with a 15-degree offset, and everything's going to be facing the same direction, the boxed in and the open end. As you can see on these combination wrenches right here, the boxed in actually has a 15-degree offset. The open end is turned sideways from where it would normally be located. The cool thing about the open end is this: you get a 15-degree offset on one side and a 4-degree offset on the other side, and that's going to come in handy in more situations than what you would think they would. Whenever you're taking a regular combination wrench and you're trying to get to a fastener at an angle, a regular combination wrench has all that extra material on the open end. Because of all that extra material, the open end jaws may not wrap around that fastener quite as good as what you would like. So these wrenches have a tapered open end, plus the 15 and 4-degree offset. You actually get on fasteners at an angle, and fitment is a little bit better with these wrenches compared to regular wrenches. Those things, you really got to see it in person to kind of understand what I'm talking about. But I've been in those situations working on machines and equipment where I have took a wrench, put it at an angle. Because of the tapered open end, whenever I go to put that wrench around that fastener, it actually gives me a little bit better fitment for me to apply torque to it. Whereas a thicker combination wrench at an angle is going to set up off the fastener a little bit more than what these will. It's going to increase the likelihood of slippage, especially if you're working on low profile fastener. Ideal situation, you can use the 12-point boxed in right here. See here with a picture that Michael Pro does provide. Getting on this fastener at an angle, it is a low profile fastener. Because of how the open end is actually tapered, it's flat setting against the ground and going on that fastener nice and flush. Regular combination wrench would actually be setting up off of that fastener toward the rear of the jaw, and that's where slippage is increased. Another great thing about these is that 12-point boxed in. Because of the contrived bottom flare shape, provides you better accessibility to reaching confined space nuts. Basically, if there's a fastener of some kind that is recessed below the surface of what you're working on, it's very common among machines and equipment. What you gotta do is take the boxed in side of this wrench, put it over top of it, and it'll go down inside that recess. Naturally, a 12-point boxed in means you're going to have access to fasteners at different angles compared to a 6-point. I can tell you this much about Michael Pro Tools: most of their products are made in Taiwan. They do pay for good quality manufacturing. A lot of these newer tool companies out here will get stuff made in China. They'll put it out on the market with some kind of name slapped on the side of it, and they'll sell it to you to make whatever profit they can. Michael Pro is actually a pretty good tool company. They are wanting to produce good quality tools for do-it-yourselfers and professional tradesmen alike. So their stuff is made in Taiwan. These wrenches in particular are made from a high-quality chrome vanadium alloy steel, so they are made to withstand high torque and heavy-duty situations. You can pause the video and read throughout the website if you would like. It goes over some of the other details on these tools. That's why anytime I'm testing tools, I take them out here and I use them and I test them in the trades doing real-world repairs. I've worked on machines, equipment, automotive, small engines for years. I've taken these tools and tested them in a do-it-yourself and a professional capacity. I've also loaned these tools out to other tradesmen so I could get their opinion on them and see what they thought about them compared to the other tools tools that they use on a daily basis. So I take pictures of everything because I want to show you all that I'm testing these tools in the trades. Nothing beats real world experience. You can do all the tool tests all day long that you want to. When it comes down to it, daily use and abuse is going to tell you how they perform better than anything else. You could probably Google search a lot of the influencers who have reviewed these wrenches in the past. Guarantee you most of them's pulled them out of the package, talked about them, and told you whether they did or did not like them. After that, you probably won't even see them on their channel ever again, because the whole reason that they're reviewing tools like this, simply because they're trying to make that influencer money. They're trying to grow their channel and reach as many people as they can. I'm actually wanting to encourage people to use tools that's right for them, and to tell you the truth about the tools based on my own experience and the word of others. That being said, here's some videos of these tools in action in the trades.
Now, one of the wrenches that I like using for this type of work is this Micro Pro spiral body wrench. The way they're designed and made, it enables me to be able to get underneath these threaded rods and be able to get on top of these fasteners pretty easily. The way the angled head is designed and all that sort of stuff, it just works out great for what I need. And now, another good plus about these particular wrenches is how the design of the box end is laid out. See those fasteners right there that you got to loosen up? Normally you'd have to fish your ratchet underneath this electrical cord or try to get it over top of this, and it won't go there, and the socket won't fit because it's too close right here to the motor itself. But this one, you just stick it right overhead and it will lock it into place enough for you to turn it because it has that offset angle to it. So these are very purposeful tools. So we will start by going ahead and breaking loose all the fasteners on the bottom of the motor mounts here. That way you can get them loosened up before the jam nuts. And the Micro Pro wrenches are doing a spectacular job when it comes to this particular kind of work. And then you want to start breaking loose these jam nuts here and get them loosened up. Here's something beneficial about the Micro Pro. All right, this is a regular wrench. Put the regular wrench on here. You got to run these jam nuts. Your finger is going to be raking across the motor, and you got to kind of go back and forth and just hold on to it right here. But Micro Pro, you got a little bit of an angle right there. Plus, this faces the opposite direction, so you can get a lot more swing on this, and it easily fits on there to run these jam nuts back and forth. So if you got to use a wrench, these Micro Pros, they're going to come in handy more than what you think they would. So you can't underestimate a tool until you've actually used it. Got some real world experience behind you. That way you can see exactly what it is that it will do for you compared to other tools. And I like the fact it's got a tapered open end, because it does slide over top of these fasteners better than it does some of the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and start busting loose all these jam nuts and start moving these motors. And you can go straight down on top of these fasteners, and you can just wrenching them back and forth, and you can get this stuff zipped on here pretty quick. I mean, that's what it's all about in the trades, is being able to do your job fast and efficiently. Because the faster you do your job, the more you're earning, because you're getting that job done quicker and you can get on to the next one. Any wrench with leverage, I tell you what, these Micro Pros do a phenomenal job because of the way the angle is on the open end design right here. You can easily slide it in here and get to these fasteners a lot easier than you can with a regular wrench. Because right around here, grip's good, functions smooth. At some point in time in the future, I might make some short videos discussing these wrenches in further detail for you to check them out. As you can clearly see by some of these photos, I have used these wrenches in a wide array of different real-world circumstances, from automotive to machine and equipment repair. I've even loaned them out to some fellow tradesmen. These wrenches actually worked out better for them and their trade than a traditional set of wrenches. I know everybody likes hopping on the tool trucks. The quality of these wrenches are going to do everything you need them to do. These are no different than buying S-shaped, half-moon, or bolt extractor wrenches. They are specialty tools. There are going to be certain situations that you get into where these wrenches are going to be the right tool for the job. You're in aerospace, work on marine motors, or you're an industrial commercial maintenance technician. These wrenches are going to fare out pretty good for you if you use them in the field, simply because they will access fasteners at angles that traditional wrenches will not. That little bit of taper on the open end makes a world of difference. Everybody's seen them extra slim wrenches out there, and they come in handy for certain jobs too. Well, the thickness of the open end jaws on these are almost just as thin as the super thin wrenches. Might not fit around all fasteners the way a thin wrench will, but the taper does let it slide onto fasteners better than a regular one can. The ability of that box end to go down inside of a recessed hole to get on a fastener, it's just perfect for some situations you'll find yourself in. This isn't an affiliate video. This is a tested in the trades with real world experience video. So the ultimate question everybody's going to ask, Backwoods, are these worth the price that they're asking for? Let me tell you something. Micro Pro stands behind the tools that they're producing. You ever have any problems, all you got to do is reach out to them. Personally, I wouldn't have an issue spending money on these again. If you have these from Micro Pro, why don't you comment down below and let us know your thoughts and opinions based on your experience. Tell us the trade that you're using them in. Are you a professional, a marine mechanic, maintenance technician, a do-it-yourselfer? Let us know how these tools have performed for you. Until next time, you can pop that clutch, subscribe, and check out these other social media platforms.